fastest 56-mile bike split ever? First time trial? Crushing a half Ironman bike ride and then following it up with a strong run? All from indoor racing?
I used to question whether Zwift racing could really make you stronger. Now, I've never raced better in real life, ever.
What happens when you turn Zwift racing into your primary training method? For Caitlyn, it changed everything.
Zwift racing forced me to push beyond what I thought I was capable of, even if I was just chasing an avatar up a virtual hill. We've been using Zwift for several years now, and I've always really enjoyed it. But we doubled down on it and I really took it to the next level, meaning I'm signing up for multiple races and really pushing beyond what I thought I could do. Not only was I doing structured bike workouts, I also signed up for races, which challenged me, but was also fun at the same time. At the beginning of the season, my main focus was the bike leg of the Puerto Rico 70.3 relay. So I was really doing a whole lot of Zwifting. That meant structured rides and races, a lot of it in a span of 7 days. This year, the Pain Cave has been just that, but it's provided gains that I couldn't even imagine. I was Zwift racing Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, and then on Wednesdays, I was doing a structured long workout. On Mondays, I was doing a recovery ride in the morning, and then in the evenings, I would do a Zwift race. On Saturdays, I would do a long aerobic ride, followed by a Zwift race. Oftentimes, that race was the 4 Zwift Insider Tiny Races. Saturday was always my long ride day. Doing a race at the end of a long ride forced me to become stronger. Most of the Zwift racing that I did came out to about 40 minutes, so I knew it was going to be 40 minutes of just redlining. Previously, before all this training began, I would always get a little intimidated when I saw that Alpe d'Huez was on the training plan. But my mindset has changed so much so that I intentionally sought out a race that went up Alpe d'Huez during this particular training block. And you know what? I went 1 hour and 34 seconds up Alpe d'Huez. That's a time that I'm really proud of, and I even came in first on that particular race. I do a majority, if not all of my workouts on Zwift, and so the thought crossed my mind, will this translate into real world? Will I be able to sustain and maintain the power that I can do in Zwift on the roads outside? I did the 56-mile bike leg of Ironman 70.3 Puerto Rico in 2:30:40, a PR. I knew early on in that bike leg that all the Zwift racing that I did was translating into real life. I was pushing power watts that I had not previously pushed in a 56-mile bike ride before. And so I knew that I was geared up for a strong day. Typically in these 56-mile rides, I tend to lose some strength on the backside of the ride, but that wasn't the case in Puerto Rico. I was able to maintain my watts and my strength. The only time I dipped a little bit was just when I got kind of complacent on the course, where there was a little bit of a couple loops that were happening. But I quickly brought my mindset back to what I was doing and attention focus, and I was able to pick back up the power that I had in my legs and really continue to push some big watts. For many years now, I knew that I had a 230 bike in me. But doing it in Puerto Rico, that just solidified what I always knew I had within me, and now I just want to pull more out of myself. That race didn't just prove that I was strong, it made me start thinking, what else can I do?
But what happened when Caitlyn entered a real bike race without ever doing outdoor intervals? You're about to find out.
I did my very first official 40K time trial in 1:05:45. There was a pretty intimidating moment during the time trial. The person that lined up directly behind me was a national time trial champion. And let me tell you, that'll get the heart pumping. So one of the goals for the time trial was just to see how long I can hold her off. And let's just say I didn't make it very far. I made it 3 miles. Riding in Zwift and riding in real world are two totally different things, and there's conditions in the real world that you just can't replicate in Zwift. Some of those things are wind conditions, and that's something that I faced in the 40K time trial. Going out had a killer tailwind, which was awesome, but coming back, I had not only headwinds but crosswinds. They really become a mental struggle, and that's something where you gotta really have the mental fortitude to fight through. You know that your legs have the power in them, it's just, does your mind have it to get past the wind? And that's something that you can't replicate in Zwift. In Zwift, there is no wind. It's just the conditions that you set up in your own pain cave. The first half of the time trial was amazing. Once I hit the turnaround and had all the winds, I was able to maintain my power for a good stretch of time. But honestly, the wind started to eat at me and I kind of lost a little bit of focus and I saw my power numbers drop. And honestly, I didn't like that. I knew that I had the power in my legs and I wanted to prove to myself that I can get these numbers back up. I can get the power back through my legs and I can fight through the mind of getting down on the wind. So I changed gears in my mind. I said, I'm gonna just fight through this wind, and I was able to, and I was slowly able to see my normalized power creep back up to where it was. And you know, I think that was a great win for me on the day, having that challenge that I had to overcome, because we don't typically have those challenges because, like I said, we do all of our riding in Zwift. So it was good for me to get outdoors and face that challenge and give myself that chance to overcome it. There was only one other person that passed me, and I passed several others. And so that kind of got me thinking, I might be kind of good at this. And how good could I be if cycling was all I did? You know, I'm not a cyclist, I'm a triathlete. I swim, I bike, and I run. The thoughts just kind of start racing and you just start to wonder, what if? Exactly 1 week after the time trial, I rode 2:31:33 in Chattanooga, a personal best for me on that course. I even had a mechanical that cost me several minutes. So if it wasn't for that, I probably could have gone under 2:30. Chattanooga this year looked a little bit different. It wasn't 70.3, it was now 69.1. The swim was canceled, so that meant we were all lining up in a time trial position for the bike. For the first time all season, I knew that I was gonna have to run 13.1 miles after riding 56 miles. I wasn't quite sure how the run was gonna go, but my plan was to still send it on the bike and see what happened on the run. That race taught me that I can run really well after riding really hard. And that got me thinking, man, why haven't I been doing this whole time? Why have I been holding back so much on the bike to save it for the run, where the bike is my best leg of it? I've been doing this all backwards this whole time, and it's just, you know, hindsight's 2020, and you know, I wish I could go back to all these races and do them over again. But you know, we live and we learn, and I guess that just means I gotta sign up for another race. After having that experience in Chattanooga, I feel like there's still so much left within me that I just gotta pull out of myself. I know that I have a really great season ahead of me. I just have to continue believing in myself, believing in what Tiffany tells me to do as my coach, and just know that I can go out and do hard things. The last 3 biking events that I've been a part of, I've been pushing higher normalized power than I ever have. And that's, you know, exciting for me. It shows me that I've got it, I can do it, and let's just continue to do it. And let's see how high I can get those numbers. How much more can I pull out of myself? And that just kind of reignites my fire to continue striving to be the best triathlete that I can. We incorporated the Zwift racing because I find it to be pretty fun. I really enjoy the Zwift racing, even though it is really hard. But it also turns out that it yields great results as well. Another fun thing about Zwift racing is you're pretty much guaranteed to hit some peak power numbers, and that's exactly what I've done this season so far. I have peak power numbers in the 1 hour, 30 minute, and 20 minutes, and that has all come from Zwift racing. All the success that I've had from that is just building blocks for me. I continue to keep building on these successes that I'm having in Zwift, and that going forward will just make me a better cyclist. As the season continues, I want to see my power go up and my time go down. The biggest lesson I've learned from this is that I'm a really good cyclist, and now I believe that, and I can lean into it.
Right.